Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the new moon in Scorpio, and this is occurring at 12 degrees of Scorpio on November 4th, 2021, on or around, depending on where you are located in the world. And this is going to be an extremely powerful new moon. And I know that we always say this, and every new moon is powerful, as is every full moon, and really everything in between. But this one is particularly powerful because it's taking us back to earlier this year, and it's also foreshadowing the energies that we're going to be experiencing throughout 2022. So we're going to talk about all of that. We are going to pull some cards as well, so I will timestamp the card reading in the description box below for those of you who want to jump to that. We are also doing the new moon manifesting ceremony, so those of you who would like to join that, I am now officially doing that as a collaborative venture with my friends Gigi and Nikki. And so Gigi is a shaman. She'll be calling in the directions for every one of our moon ceremonies going forward. And Nikki Lamancusa, who has her own channel on YouTube as well, which I encourage you guys to check out, Majestic Unicorn Healing. She channels all different types of ET groups and ascended masters, and she also does light language, so she's going to be doing a light language transmission for us, bringing through any communications that want to come through. And as usual, I will be discussing the energies of the moon and doing some downloads and some releases for you guys and all the other fun stuff that we do. So if you guys want to check that out, the information to join that is in the description box below. I do believe we're still working on the time, but we're thinking 8 o'clock p.m. for this particular new moon ceremony. And then we are going to be going forward setting set times for the new and the full moon ceremonies, airing towards having the new moon a little bit earlier so that we can maybe get some people who in different time zones where the earlier is easier, and the full moon for a little later, because that feels like a late night kind of thing, the full moon, you know, when that moon is nice and big in the sky, or at least here with all of our time zones. It's really difficult to get these things together like that with so many people being in so many different places, but the replay is always available as well for those who would like to view the replay. So as I said, check that out in the description box below if you are interested. That is going to be happening on the 4th during this beautiful new moon in Scorpio. And so when we're tracing this energy back, where we want to trace it back to is April 27th of this year, when we had the full moon in Scorpio. We had a full moon in Scorpio on April 27th, and then we had a new moon in Taurus on May 11th. And that's what really began sort of warming us up and then bringing us into eclipse season. And we are having an eclipse in Taurus. Sorry, it's my brain trying to organize and categorize all this information, and you guys, sometimes it takes a second, so just bear with me. The next moon that we have, the next full moon that we have in November is going to be a full moon eclipse in the sign of Taurus. And then, of course, we're going to finish out the year with that eclipse in the sign of that new moon eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. All right, so we're moving back into eclipse season with one of those eclipses in Taurus. But this energy with Scorpio along the Scorpio-Taurus axis is going to be evident throughout 2022. We actually have all of the eclipses in 2022 in the sign of either Scorpio or Taurus. And we also have the nodes shifting into Taurus and Scorpio. So it's going to be all about that Taurus-Scorpio axis, all about those energies. And I am going to get into those energies, but I want to backtrack for a second and just say, to finish out that original thought, you can trace back to what was going on at the end of April, beginning of May with this new moon, and then with the full moon eclipse. And there may be some connections there, right? There may be some things that started then that are now coming into a deeper level of fruition. So really paying attention to that. But like I said, this energy is ongoing and it's moving into 2022. And so when we're going to talk about the specific energy of this new moon, but we're going to talk about this energy of the Taurus-Scorpio axis as well, because these are the energies that, like I said, that we're going to be working with throughout 2022. Remember, 2021 was primarily about belief systems, about the rewiring and the mastering of the mind. As we move into 2022, It's really about the mastery of our earthly experience, right? We're working with that Taurus energy. That Taurus energy is the energy of being. It's the energy of presence. It's the energy of being fully anchored in this earthly experience, right? Fully anchored in our bodies, fully present in what is right now. And this is absolutely essential as we are moving forward. This ability to be in the now, and also this ability to be firmly manifested in our physical reality. Abundance is going to be a huge focus as we move forward. This Taurus-Scorpio axis is known by some as the axis of wealth. I call it the axis of enlightenment because of the powerful and potent energies that we're working with here. But it's also the axis of wealth. All right, so that is going to be an energy that we are working with. Sexuality with that Scorpio energy is going to be an energy that we're working with. Really coming to understand our sexuality, our sexual energy, how it is that we use that, right? Where it is that we possibly have misused that in the past, and how it is that we want to reclaim that energy now. So that's going to be a major focus. But we have this focus on the earthly, right? On the body, on being present and anchored and fully incarnated, right? Taurus is a fully incarnated energy. And we also have this energy with Scorpio, where we are exploring the shadow, right? We're diving deep. We're getting really intimate with ourselves and with others. And we are exploring and coming to love all the facets of the self. This axis is all about self-realization and self-love as well. So that is going to be a huge focus. Bringing the shadow into the light, right? Integrating these aspects of our being that we may not have been willing or ready or wanting to look at before. Calling more of our soul light into our bodies. And also this mastery of the emotions. Scorpio is a water sign, right? We have fixed earth with Taurus, and we have fixed water with Scorpio. So a lot of these stabilizing energies when we're working with these fixed energies. But it's all about that emotion, right? So we're really learning how to work with the emotional body, how to work with the physical body, how to be anchored and present both in the world and absolutely with ourselves, and how to really fully embrace all of the aspects of who we are. And of course, this is a journey, and this is why I like to call this the axis of enlightenment, that leads to that state of enlightenment. So really big, potent energies. With this particular new moon, we have an opposition going on to Uranus, and this opposition is exact during this new moon, which is what makes it incredibly powerful. A lot of times we have, they're a couple degrees away, we're still feeling the energies, we call it, because they're within range. This is an exact opposition between the sun, the moon, and Uranus. We also have the true node conjunct true black moon, Lilith. And so with Uranus and true black moon Lilith, these are the two energies in the, I almost said the zodiac, but this isn't really the planetary energies, right? Astrological bodies or points that represent rebelliousness in its truest form. So there's going to be a lot of that rebellious energy kicking around with this new moon in Scorpio. We're really going to be called to set ourselves free wherever it is that we are still feeling that we're lacking that freedom. Anywhere where we feel stifled, where we feel suppressed, where we feel repressed, we are going to be pushing back against that. We're going to be breaking out of those molds. That's what this energy, that's what this new moon is all about. It's about us stepping into our truth, us stepping into our authenticity, us claiming our power, claiming our voice, and really expressing what makes us unique, what makes us different, what makes us eccentric, right? With that Uranus energy. It's all about that. What are our little quirks? What are the things about us that make us the most unique? And are we ready to really claim those? And stop being ashamed of those, right? We live in a society that wants to make us feel shame around any ways that we are different, right? Everyone is supposed to be coordinated. Everyone's supposed to like the same things, think the same things, right? We're trained this way for a very long time. And we have been consistently breaking out and breaking free from these molds, right? We came here, what is it? There's a quote that I really like, and it said something like, you don't fit into this world because you came here to create a new one. right? And that's what every single person watching this video did. So this energy is really calling us to step into that creator's energy, right? This new moon is happening during the 11/11 gateway as well, which is all about that energy, right? We are stepping more deeply into ourselves, more deeply into our light, right? More deeply into our roles as teachers, as leaders, as way showers. And we're capitalizing on this energy, right? We are creating that new world, and that's where I was going with that. Sometimes my brain goes off mid-sentence. It's the creator's portal. It's a massive manifestation gateway. So we are creating, there's a huge energy of transformation, of renewal, of healing, and of creation with this new moon in Scorpio. Enhancing that healing aspect is the fact that Chiron is sextile Ceres. So a lot of beautiful, deep healing. And remember, Scorpio is also the sign that represents, and here my mind's doing it again, you guys. It's been kind of a struggle lately. I don't know if you guys have been feeling this. I've been super tired. And it's kind of like my brain just keeps turning on and off. And so that's even happening while I'm talking here. So what were we talking about? We were talking about the creator's gateway, right? We were talking about this this beautiful, powerful, creative energy, all of this powerful psychic energy. I'm feeling a lot of psychic activations for people during this new moon, and a lot of faded energy as well, as we're moving down the path of our dharma or our destiny, with Pluto actually in a sextile to the vertex, which is the point of fate in the chart. And Pluto, one of those planets that can represent fate, destiny, karma, the soul, all of these different things. So absolutely feeling that kind of like faded energy, as we're really we're utilizing that Scorpio energy of the phoenix, right? Really releasing and burning away anything that is no longer serving us, right? Possibly with this Scorpio energy, coming face to face with aspects of ourselves that we haven't been too familiar with, right? Getting really deep and intimate with ourselves, and really getting to this place where we're able to remember, Scorpio is represented by the death card in the tarot, and that is no accident. Letting die what needs to die, so that what wants to be born can be born. It's that energy of creation and destruction, right? Destruction begets creation. And we see that in the world at large right now. So we may be seeing that in some aspect or area of our lives. And we may have seen the beginnings of that, like we said, at the end of April, beginning of May, when we had that first new and full moon along that Taurus-Scorpio axis there. Let's see here. Anything else? We have, so Pluto, as we said, is sextile the vertex, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, which makes it the ruler of this moon. We also, of course, have Mars, the former ruler of Scorpio. And Mars is still in a loose sextile to Venus with a square to Saturn. So the sextile to Venus is a highly creative energy, right? It's a very dynamic energy. Also, between that, the aspects with true black moon, just the Scorpio energy in general, there's a lot of sexually charged energy with this new moon as well. And so really working with that energy, working with your Kundalini energy, working with that sexual energy in a powerful way, in a way of manifesting, of creating, could be very, very powerful during this new moon. It's really a reclaiming of our sexual power and sexual energy. And we talked about this, how all throughout 2022, this is going to be a repeating theme as we work along this axis. But definitely feeling it with this new moon, especially like we said with true black moon Lilith, who represents where we have been, especially the feminine aspect of our nature, has been repressed or suppressed. There's a highly sexual element to that with true black moon Lilith. So yeah, those energies may come up. We may be working with those energies. We may be feeling very passionate. But we also have this square to Saturn. And so this is where we're going to be feeling absolutely, at least in one area of our lives, and this is going to depend on where you have these energies in your natal chart, where you're going to feel it the most. But you probably already know that tension, right? With Mars, this is our will, especially in Scorpio, which I do believe Mars will be in Scorpio by the time this new moon happens. And I'm going to double check, but I know we talked about Mars moving into Scorpio. I just always like to double check myself for you guys. Mars moving into Scorpio this past week. So Mars will definitely be, yes, in the sign of Scorpio. So that's a lot of that. Mars is extra passionate in the sign of Scorpio. So extra driven, extra determined. So we have this energy being squared by Saturn in Aquarius. All right. And so this is that push-pull where it's like we're wanting to move forward, but we're feeling limited in some sense, right? We're feeling that sense of restriction. And that sense of restriction is probably irritating us quite a lot during this, not just during this new moon, but in life in general. But it's really coming to a head for some during this new moon, where it is that we are feeling stifled, where it is that we're not able to pursue our passions and our desires the way that we want. What do we feel or perceive is blocking us, right? What is that opportunity for growth? Because remember, Saturn offers opportunities for growth. Saturn offers lessons, and every perceived obstacle or challenge is an opportunity. So really learning how to see that as an opportunity and then utilize that Mars and Scorpio passion and drive in order to take advantage of that opportunity and what it is that it is offering us in terms of our expansion, in terms of our personal power. And there could be some when we're looking at this this energy with Saturn in Aquarius, which is all about that collective energy, right? There could be some collective themes around this going on as well. Let's see, anything else that we didn't cover here? Yeah, just be prepared for anything. Be prepared for anything. With this Uranian energy, there's the possibilities are endless, right? And it could be very much not what we expect. And I'm actually wanting to pull from the Starseed Oracle to start us off with some guidance for this new moon in Scorpio. Starseed Oracle, clear. All of our beautiful star nations, what guidance do you have for us? And I'm going to, I keep forgetting to put that card back where it belongs, which is, of course, Get Grounded. That belongs to a different deck. But yes, it's not a mistake that I noticed that card when I was shuffling, right? Because that's all about empaths and highly sensitives. It's about connecting with nature. It's also about the understanding that anytime we have a water sign, right? We have a moon in a water sign. It is highly psychic energy. It is highly empathic energy. And we're going to be more sensitive to our environment. So we really want to be aware of that, right? And we want to be aware of where it is that we may be picking up energies, thoughts, anything at all from our environment and how that is influencing us. All right, so we have Fall Into My Arms coming out. Surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. And we have Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. All right. So with this Fall Into My Arms energy, this is the energy where Spirit is acknowledging that there have been challenges, right? Things may not have been, are they ever easy? But things may have been extra challenging lately, right? There may have been some extremes showing up in your life to give you contrast, to show you something, especially if you weren't noticing or paying attention to something. It may be showing up around this new moon in an extreme fashion in order to get your attention, right? But it's that energy of, it's like, where have we been seeking to control, right? The Scorpio-Taurus axis, with these fixed signs, there is that aspect of control. These are signs that like to be in control. And so where is it that we can perhaps release some of that control and learn to perfect that art of surrender, understanding that surrender does not mean giving up, right? And remembering, this is what we talked about with those challenges, with those opportunities. This is a school. We are here to learn. Even those, like the majority of viewers on here, right? The majority of this tribe that I'm speaking to right now are the 144,000, right? You are starseeds. You are light workers, light warriors, right? We came here to assist this planet in ascending, right? In moving into the next dimension of consciousness. However, we also came here to learn, and we came here to grow, right? We didn't just come here for one thing. There is an incredible amount of soul growth that we are all experiencing. So it's an earth school for everyone, even us, right? We are here to learn just like everybody else. And some of these lessons right now have to do with this energy of surrender and this energy of navigating the extremes, navigating the challenges, And I want to actually look up this card here. And I want to read this for you guys. So it says, the Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded, and when things are bad, then perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow, and it's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. You're being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experience, to let them initiate you more fully into life. The agony and the ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubts, to lay them on her altar, to fall fully into her arms, to remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I've truly lived. And this is really important, right? Because nowhere else in the possibly the multiverse, I know that's a bold statement to make, but at least in this galaxy, right? There is nowhere else where we experience the intensity of emotion that we experience here on Earth. The human experience is a very unique experience, and we came here to have all of that experience, right? We are adventurers. We came here for a lot of reasons. We came here to assist in this ascension, right? We came here to learn and grow and evolve as souls. Absolutely. We came here to experience these highs and these lows because we can't get this shit anywhere else. All right? And so it's really enjoying that and remembering that in those moments when we feel low, because those lows can feel pretty low sometimes. I can absolutely relate to that. I've been having definitely an intensity of emotion. My own moods kind of swinging like that pendulum, like it was talking about lately. Right? Yay, Scorpio season. Yay, Scorpio energy. All right, but we came here to experience all of that. Because not only are those lows low, but those highs are high. And we don't experience that level of joy anywhere else either. Right? Because we don't have the contrast. When everything's bliss, when we're always in that higher state of consciousness, you can't appreciate the same way. Right? Because you have nothing to compare it to. So this is such a powerful and potent experience that we are all having right now. And we are so lucky and so fortunate to have it. And our soul was standing there when they were choosing souls to come down at this time on this planet. Like me, pick me. All right? And they picked you. You were chosen and you chose to be here. And that is miraculous. So it's like remembering that in those moments where it's hard. And then surrendering that pain, surrendering that sorrow, surrendering, like we said, that need to control to spirit. Yes. And the affirmation or the activation that goes with this card is, I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar and fall completely into her arms. On the bottom of the deck, we have portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Wild card. So there's definitely a portal-like energy, right? We are within that 1111 portal gateway, that 1111 energy right now. And there are so many doors opening. There are so many choices, right? And that wild card, that's that Uranus energy right there. So what are you choosing? What do you choose? You get to decide what you experience next. You get to decide. I feel like there's a lot of us where we're kind of like waiting for Spirit to make a decision for us, for Spirit to guide us, and Spirit saying, well, you're the creator. What do you want to experience? What do you want to do? You get to create that. You get to initiate that, right? That's part of you stepping into that role. Is yes, there's an aspect of going with the flow and going where we're led, but at the same time, it's like sometimes it's up to us to make that choice of how and when we want to move forward, right? When we feel, where we feel called, how we feel called to move. And then we have star bathing coming out, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Yeah, so major activations coming through for us with this new moon in Scorpio, right? We're within that 1111 gateway. This is like a huge, it's like a portal within a portal, right? That's really carrying us into a deeper layer of ourselves, really activating something deep within us, just within our light body, within our soul, within our essence. Yeah, and that 1111 video will be coming out soon. The one that I'm doing with Pete from Empath Uprising will be, I believe, premiering on Saturday. Yeah. Lots of activations. The crystal grid, too, that came up in my channelings for the 1111 portal. Right, there's so much light pouring through during this 1111 portal, and there's going to be a huge gateway of it on the 4th with this new moon in Scorpio. And it's just like, especially the 144,000, we're getting lit up right now. Right? And so meditate all throughout the November, right? But especially, definitely on this new moon in Scorpio, and just welcome in that light, and imagine transmitting that light out to the planet, right? To all of Earth's creatures. Yeah, just huge. If there are transmissions wanting to come through to you from your soul, if you are willing to listen. And this is why we were talking so much about the different reasons that we incarnated here, why we came here. If you are wondering about your purpose, if you're wondering about your direction right now, meditate and ask. And keep showing up, keep meditating day after day throughout this portal, and you will receive the information that you are seeking. You notice how she's laying here and she's just receiving? I don't know if you guys can see, she's laying right here. These cards are so gorgeous. All right, all you have to do is open yourself up to receive. And the more consciously you do this, and the more sacred you allow that energy to be, the more you're going to receive. We also have surrender to the sweetness coming out. This is that Venus energy. Pleasure, joy, make love to life. So once again, this energy of being fully incarnated, like we talked about, right? That's that Taurus energy. Taurus being ruled by Venus. So really, and we have two cards that talk about surrender. All right, so surrender is key. This is surrender to the sweetness. This is just plain old surrender, right? All right, so allowing ourselves to experience joy. I feel like there's a lot of us where we feel almost as though there's some aspect of our souls that still believes that it's not worthy of feeling joy. That it's not worthy. It's actually interesting. I was talking to my friend Tommy about this last night. This energy of how there's a belief system within me that's still working its way out, that says that I'm not worthy of that connection, that I'm not worthy of my gifts, that I'm not worthy of these things, because of past energies and past actions that I don't even remember on a conscious level, right? And that's energy that I'm working through, and I want to cancel, clear, delete where I said that out loud, right? But I had to say it so that you guys could understand, right? So it's constantly reminding myself and repeating to myself, I am worthy, right? I am worthy of a connection to the Creator. I am worthy of the love of the Creator. I am worthy of my gifts. I am worthy of this earthly experience. I'm worthy of joy. I am worthy of bliss. Right? But there's a lot of us that it's like we still struggle with that sometimes. And this is another thing, right? This is where we're talking about the reasons we came here. We also came here just to experience this joy, to be blissful, to create, to love, to experience love. This is something that came through a few weeks ago when I was hiking, and it was just this understanding of how much more powerful love is in this dimension too. And the reason for that is in other dimensions where everything is love and light and bliss, it's easy to love because that's all we know, right? In this dimension, it's that much more challenging because of what we experience here, because of the betrayals, because of the hurts, because of the times that our hearts have been broken. For the amount of power in the love that is experienced when somebody who's been put through the ringer, somebody who's been betrayed and bruised and broken, allows their heart to open again and allows themselves and has the courage to love and to allow themselves to be loved, the magnitude of that kind of love and that kind of experience, that kind of risk, and the reward from that, like, there's nothing that can compare to that. So that's what makes love on this planet so much more powerful. Because of what it takes in order to experience that and in order to allow ourselves to experience that again after we've been hurt. In a world that can be so cold, to allow ourselves to experience that warmth, the courage that that takes. It's powerful. Yeah. Anything else that wants to come through here? Ah, yes, we got that Mars energy. Yes, things splitting off, things severing. Things being removed, right, with that Uranian energy. And then we have the golden children coming out. This is all about the inner child. Reconnecting to our innocence. And then, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. And we talked about that, right? And it's funny it says face your true north, right? Because we have the North Node conjuncting true Black Moon Lilith, who's all about that energy of rising up. Yeah. So this is really beautiful. This is that energy of healing that inner child, calling back some of those aspects of ourselves that were severed, right? As a result of the pain and the conflict, the trauma that we've been through. Really opening back up to our softer side, reclaiming some aspect of our innocence that we thought was lost, and all the gifts that come with that. And once again, we see this, it's like walking, it's like a portal, right? And it's this energy of also where it is that we are experiencing this anger and this conflict, right? Shifting out of that and into love. Where is it that we are seeing this in the world, in ourselves, and how can we soften that energy how can we meet that energy with the energy of love? And I want to see if I know how to find. Sometimes it's hard to figure out how to find these cards, but if I can, I want to find that one too. So, yeah. Hold that up again. This is a shadow card that may feel confrontational. Don't be afraid. It's here to bring to the surface anything that's standing in the way of letting love in. The warring planet of Mars is our constant reminder that it's important to soften, forgive, and find our way back to love. There are many things in the human experience that make it difficult for our heart and soul to stay open to the never-ending source of love. We're all wounded, and our unconscious wounds inflict wounds on others. It can feel like a never-ending dance we can never escape. If we aren't careful, before long, we'll see the world as a scary, dangerous place where fear and anxiety roam free. If this card surfaces, it could be for two reasons. Firstly, you are to acknowledge the difficult emotions, situations, conflicts, wounds, and fears that are causing you pain and anxiety. And secondly, for you to find your way back to love. When we're hurt, it's normal to close off our heart to the world, to let the painful experience confirm the agony of separation in earthly life. Soften and find your way back to love anyway. Is this not what we were just talking about? That is so funny. When fear, anxiety, and paranoia paralyze you, it's normal to want to hide away from others and the world. Come out of your cave and soften your heart anyway. We're all innocent children, spinning our way around the world. Find a way to see the innocence in all people, especially yourself. Wow. Wow, that is so absolutely perfect. I love it when that happens. I love it when that happens. That just summed up so much of what we just said, right? Yeah. Reclaiming our innocence. Softening back to, like, allowing our hearts to soften again. Where it is, finding where it is that we've hardened our hearts. Where it is that we've put up those walls and those barriers. And where some of those walls and barriers are ready to come down. And also this beautiful Uranian energy of Aquarian energy of expressing ourselves, of being who we truly are, of claiming our weirdness, of claiming what makes us unique and special and shining that out for the world to see. And then on the bottom of the deck here we have, and you're not for everyone, right? So what does this mean? Not everyone is going to like you. There was a friend of mine, and he used to say, if everybody likes you, it's time to take the mask off. I think I've said this before, right? Not everyone is going to like you when you are who you truly are, right? Because you're not playing to what you know they want from you, right? You're not pretending to be what they want you to be in order to please them. But that's okay. Because what happens when you're not for everyone, but you meet your true soul tribe, right? When you are who you are. Because the people that you are for, the people that are for you are drawn to that energy. And who cares about everybody else? It's a really great way to weed out the people that don't belong in your life anyway, when you just start being yourself 100% of the time. Because they're going to naturally filter themselves out, and that's okay, that's good. That just saved you a lot of time and energy. All right? So face your true north. Move in the direction of your Dharma. If you don't know what that is, like we said, meditate, meditate, meditate. And the keys, right? The clues that lead us to our Dharma are our weirdness. If we embrace what makes us weird, what makes us special, what makes us unique, what makes us stand out, if we stop fearing that and we start embracing that, that's going to lead us toward the path of our Dharma. Right? If we follow our hearts, if we follow what makes our souls sing, that's going to lead us in the direction of our Dharma. Our true north is what feels resonant to us, what feels good, what feels right within our souls, what resonates within us. And it may sometimes, typically you get that little feeling inside, you know what resonates. But if you don't, you definitely know what doesn't resonate, because that's what gives you that uncomfortable feeling. That's what gives you that anxiety, that restlessness, that irritability, that frustration, right? That sense that something's just not right, that something's off. So even if we can't necessarily identify the feeling of resonance yet, we can identify that feeling. And on the bottom of the deck, we have star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. So there's a lot of this energy available to us too, right? As we are receiving some of these activations and I dare say initiations from our star ancestors. As we have, and this came up with the 1111 energy too, wisdom codes being unlocked, right? More knowledge coming through. So we may be spontaneously remembering things during this new moon and during this 1111 portal. Things that we had forgotten, right? Let's see. So this talks about the ancients and their wisdom. The ancients knew much more than we do about our connection with the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship, created in precise alignment with the stars, exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul, to tap into the part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ears. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the remembrance of the star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong, when we do the unexpected. So often a creative solution is right in front of us, but because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's out in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology and wisdom that are so needed on your planet right now, to unlock your soul's memories of a time when we lived in harmony on Earth and one day will again. And so the activation mantra for this card is, I'm ready to remember ancient mysteries and secrets from deep within. So that takes this whole energy of the Scorpio energy of going deep to a whole new level, you guys. So really powerful energies that we're working on with this new moon in Scorpio. And this felt like a 11/11 portal reading in a lot of ways too. So yeah, just lots and lots of magic going on. So step into that magic, right? Step into that magic. Be open. Be receptive. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so powerful. I can't wait to. I'm so excited for those who are joining the manifesting ceremony as well. Underneath that, we did have the life as a canvas, artistic energies, manifestation energies, also creative accountability, right? Taking accountability for our actions, looking at our reality, seeing what we've created, and then deciding where we want to go from there, right? What is it that we've created? Why is it that we've created it? Oh, this is so moving into the 11/11 portal energies. This is so fascinating how this is happening right now, because there was some stuff that came through around that as well. This energy of looking in your world, observing your world and what it is that you have created in your reality, taking that accountability, and then shifting what needs to be shifted in order to change the things that you're wanting to change, right? Where is it that we, and it's all by understanding the why. Why was this created? Right? If you guys want any assistance with this, please reach out to me. My email is in the description box below. The Theta healing I do can be really powerful for working through some of these belief systems that are creating our reality. The Belvaspata Angelic healing of the heart that I do is so incredibly powerful. It was downloaded to assist humanity in this ascension process. So that's another great resource. Just email me, let me know what you have going on, and we can figure out what is the best approach to get you the results that you're looking for right now. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, let me know how you're doing, what you're thinking of these energies, this new moon in Scorpio. Like I said, the information to join the manifesting ceremonies in the description box below, as well as our links to donate if you're finding these videos and this material helpful, and you feel so moved and inclined to donate. The information to do that is below as well. I love you guys. You are so incredibly beautiful. I hope that you have an amazing new moon in Scorpio, whatever it is that you do.